Welcome to an episode of Vidhi, Footprints and Sands of Time. This is a tale of survivors and achievers.
Good evening to all those people who are giving us such warm and positive response on our podcast. Thank you. And we are elated today to bring to you Mr. and Mrs. Umesh Kalpi. They are wonderful people to begin with. And along with that, sir happens to be a professor in oil and gas refinery sciences. They have been here with us at Team Mukha from a long time, and today we are going to share their journey. Thank you for being a part of our team, and thank you for agreeing to do this. This means a lot to us, and of course the people who are listening to.
Welcome. Thank you.
Mr. Umesh Kalpi and Mrs. Shalini Kalpi, we saw them in 2018 when they came to us all the way from South Africa. Though they have an Indian origin that they will talk to you about, they came to Bangalore all the way from South Africa, and we saw them with some dental issues. We said, oh, don't worry, we will sort it out for you. And Mr. Umesh Kalpi underwent a full mouth dental implant rehabilitation. And so did Mrs. Shalini with few of her teeth as well. So I would like to begin by asking you just a brief introduction about yourself. Then we'll follow it up with how Bangalore happened, how India happened.
Okay.
So all over to you, sir.
Okay. Personally, I'm 70 years old. In October, I turned 70.
Oh, wonderful.
What an achievement. And then I've been married to Shalini for 45 years. And we have 4 children. They're not children anymore. The eldest is 44, the youngest is 36. And they're all married and left the house. So we just got on. And career-wise, I worked in the oil refinery, oil and gas. Total, including teaching, it's about 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So the better part of my life is when I learned oil and gas under the Americans. It was an American refinery. It was mobile. And I built my career around that. And during that period, I didn't stop studying. I was doing evening classes, maths, chemistry, and physics to increase my opportunity elsewhere as well. And I started as a junior technician, and I grew. 15 years later, I became manager in the oil refinery. And then in 1994, that was when the ANC came in power, which was excellent, where the white dominance was over in 94.
Okay.
Nelson Mandela came in power. And they were forced to start promoting people. And who they looked at first was me, of color. And I got promoted in 1994. I had a position for 12 years, and I started migrating to Kuwait. I worked there for a few years and ended up in Malaysia at university and lectured oil and gas to the students, and I'm retired.
Oh, wonderful.
Since 2016. So the next question was, how did I get to know?
Absolutely. How India, Bangalore, and how Mukha.
Okay. We've been traveling to India since 1992.
Right.
And every trip we made, we went to the ashram. And we fell in love with the ashram. We fell in love with the people inside and outside. We looked at everyone as equal. In 1992, 1 month in the ashram, I started cooking in the Western canteen.
Okay.
Right. And I was there for 1 month. Okay. And it was tough those days because we slept on the floor. Accommodation was in the shed. With 2 small kids, we managed. And we grew in the Sai movement right up to now, since 1990, and we grew. So, how I got to know about Dr. Girish is I was my travel agent in Bangalore, in Puttaparthi, was a person by the name of Ramesh Reddy. He owned Sai Travel. He's late now. And he introduced me to Girish. We were having a casual chat in his office, and I told him I need dental implants. So I started investigating and Googling very long back. And then he told me the best surgeon in Bangalore is Dr. Girish. So I actually came in 2017, I think, or 2017. Yeah. Paid Dr. Girish a visit, did an x-ray, and I surprised him and I told him I want a full implant.
Yeah.
He said, why? He says, a lot of your teeth is still okay. I told him, there are a few things against me in my age. I told him I'm going to come back in 2019. You know, he was an amazing doctor. He's got time to talk to. He spoke personal stuff about his family. I still remember, and how he started practicing. You know, he was in the UK and yeah. And I started communicating with him on WhatsApp and Babu as well, all the time. And I'm building up my confidence to come here in 2019. And the people in South Africa, families and friends, they told me, you're going that far. What happened if things go horribly wrong? I said, I got a lot of faith.
Absolutely.
And then in 2019, when I arrived here, you sent me for my medical checkups, all the tests, blood tests. Well, I should have done it in South Africa. I actually forgot. It's my fault. And Dr. Girish sent me to do the medical blood test. Came back, he read that 2-3 hours later, he says, you ready to go? I said, yes. It was quite in the evening as well.
Yes.
And then he told me, you know, you still got some very good teeth. I told him, take it all out. And he told me, and I was surprised, for the 3 to 4 hours that I was sitting in the chair and he was extracting, first of all, it made my mouth really numb. And he started extracting all my teeth. It was a painless exercise. I couldn't believe all I had was for the 3 hours. I just closed my eyes and sat back. And a few times I opened up and I saw maybe half a dozen or more assistants. And I closed my mouth again. And then he's talking to me all the time. I remember him telling me what car I'm driving in South Africa. And I told him, I'm driving a Toyota. It's an old car. He says, keep that Toyota, I'm putting Ferrari in your mouth. and it's just so true. It's actually, for health reasons and cosmetic, what he said was so true. I said, car is depression. In my mind, I'm thinking, I couldn't laugh because my face was swollen, but swollen in a good way. That's fine. I'm not putting fear at anybody. But I thoroughly enjoyed sitting, reclined, and other people were doing the business for me. Right. And when I opened my eyes, one of those times, she was standing at the door with tears rolling down. And I saw that. I said, no, there's no pain. There shouldn't be any tears. Yeah. And when we finished, and then we have all had ice packs and everything else. And it was amazing, amazing. I went to the hotel, still no pain. I just gargled my mouth with salt water every hour or two. And they gave me a lot of cotton balls and just to absorb the blood. At 4 in the morning, I'm like perfect, like it never happened.
It's wonderful to hear.
Yes. Then I went down to, slept a bit. I went down to the hotel at the bottom for breakfast. I told them, I want dal rice. I can't chew, I want a solo. They actually made it for me.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And then girl came in the morning. I came to, and I remember she came and cleaned up my gum. blood and little bit, and never didn't even feel any pain. It was so perfect, like I had my teeth. It was perfect. And Dr. Girish came a little later, and he checked. He says, "Amazing, Kalpi. Your gum has healed." I just thought overnight, how come? Yeah.
True.
Yeah. And he told me, "You go to Purapati." And I went to Purapati. I was happy there. I was eating dal rice every day. Morning, breakfast, lunch, supper, dal rice. I was just smashing and swallowing it. I thoroughly enjoyed my 1 or 2 weeks in Purapati, and I came back to him because they had to give me more temporary. Yeah. And done that, and a week later I was back home in South Africa, and they all are waiting anxiously for my implants. And then I pull out this year, what? Implant? I said, no, it's just temporary. 6 months later, I'm going back.
It's work in progress.
Yes. I know, fortunately, I must tell you, Swami was right with us. This was in September when they did their extraction. And I phoned Babu, and I told Babu, can I come in February? It's not 6 months yet, it's 5 months. Babu says, please come. Now, when we talk to Babu, when he said, please come, I said, is Dr. Girish going to be around? He says, yes, please come on the WhatsApp. Okay. So, I booked my tickets, and I was here in February. Okay. And my other medical stuff had to be done as well. You know, when all that was done, I had a lot of things in my favor. I arrived home, and a week later, they shut down all the airlines.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because of COVID, of course.
COVID, right? And I said, thank God I had it done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 5 months, normally it's 6 months.
Yeah.
And in 5 months it was done. And I was so blessed that, you know, that with the COVID and this no travel, it was all travel ban. And I am happy with my ventures. And it's gone almost 3 years now. I am very satisfied and overjoyed. You can't put a cost to it. There is no value to this. It's immeasurable. And every night when I go to bed, I say, thank God, Dr. Girish and his team.
No, it's, of course, we are the facilitators.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're facilitators of healing. But at the end of the day, as you said,
Yes.
he heals so beautifully. I mean, it's important that the instructions that we give you, it's been followed to the T. And because you were doing it so well, it's been tremendous healing. And of course, the divine energy in us, because we believe in, some form of energy. Right?
As doctors, we are often, under Girish Rao sir, we are often taught that we are mere instruments. We are conduit of a greater energy that passes through us, which might help someone. So we are what we are.
Yes.
In 1990s, early 1990s, that's when you started your journey coming to India. There was an article written in the world medicine field that India's healthcare is a stone throw away from Stone Age. And today we have people as accomplished as you are, as widely traveled, in Malaysia, South Africa, Kuwait, who came to India for a health checkup and a healthcare to avail the healthcare facilities in India. What do you have to tell about the healthcare facilities in India and India as a whole?
Okay. I was hoping you must ask that question. When my daughter had cancer, she was 8 years old. There were 2 South African doctors that failed on her. And there was an India-trained doctor who was the ENT surgeon, and he has performed a lot of surgeries, cancer. And eventually they roped him in, and he operated on my daughter, and she's 42 years old now. I remember the South African interview, the South African doctors. I'm not belittling him. I still remember, it's because my child. And they told me that with the type of cancer my daughter have, that she will only live beyond 20 some odd years. Yeah. The surgeon who's done this operation was educated and trained in India. And he's done hundreds of operations in our hospital. And when he came out 5 hours later from the operating theater, and he told me belt and braces, I looked at him, asked him, what do you mean? He says, he's did the operation successfully, and she just need to go for radiotherapy treatment, and she'll be okay. You know, that okay sounded the world to me. And ever since that, I had confidence on Indian doctors. This is way going back in 1989. And so when this travel agent friend of mine in Puddapati, Ramesh Reddy, Vidhi right now, or another wonderful motivator as well, when he told me, there is a person in Bangalore, Dr. Girish Rao. Everyone talks about him and he's the best. I didn't look for a second and I came straight here. Now that's how much of faith I had. Yeah. So that's the question you asked me and that's the answer you have.
Thank you so much. You've traveled all across India, I'm sure. What are your favorite places?
Oh, I love Bangalore. I've been to, she knows I love Bangalore. I've been to Mumbai, I've been to the north, I've been to I've been to Kerala, all other south. But we went everywhere for the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And so I just love Bangalore. You know, I was studying Dr. Girish Rao. Find me a little flat. And I will relocate here permanently. Yeah.
Both of us are also born and brought up in Bangalore. Yeah. Even Dr. Girish Rao is. So our heart is in Bangalore. So yes. Anybody says we love Bangalore, we so feel for it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not fibbing, and it's the facts. She knows that. And I got a WhatsApp group with the previous company I worked for. They're all refinery. We got about 50 of us. They're all retired people. I'm the administrator. And when I tell them about Bangalore, and I even told a whole lot of the guys in 2019 when I'd done this, and I told them I'd just come back and done a complete implant. But they're so afraid to come out publicly in that chat group. They're calling me separately on my own. How was it? And my wife is interested. And so I got to do it. I don't understand a lot of people why they don't want to share knowledge on a common platform. Yeah. So everyone can learn. So yeah, so this is my second home.
That's what we believe. Knowledge shared is knowledge gained.
Exactly.
You gain when you share.
Exactly.
The giver becomes more richer when he gives.
Exactly.
How does your friend like your smile now?
Oh, the whole family. First thing you ask, was it paining? I said, no. No pain. They can't believe it.
I think that's what everyone has to hear, because that's the main fear, the pain, it's actually not. And then we have the technology.
That's right.
And you can make it so comfortable, exactly. Right?
It was painless. Even right up to they put my crown, see 5 months later. There's absolutely no pain. And I think, I just need to take care of it going forward now. Strengthen the gum. Obviously, I can't floss.
We have a water flosser, right?
Yeah,
we still have it, yeah.
Because the water flosser, I've used it, but not consistent. It's my fault. And Dr. Anand scolded me for that. So I will take that blame. Yes. Okay, so I'm extremely happy. Only thing I hope that the guarantee is gone beyond my lifespan.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yes.
that's what we always say, that if you maintain your body well, the body takes care of itself.
Yes.
It's better than any other car or any other gadget that we use
Exactly.
that comes with an expiry date. What we do to our body
Yes.
is with us.
Exactly.
Gives us happiness as well. So
Yes.
that's probably the only thing that takes in effort, makes you happy,
Yes.
and gives you a longevity.
Yeah. The analogy I used earlier is so true. The Toyota and the Ferrari.
Yeah.
And I tell my family and friends the same thing. I told them, having a Ferrari parked outside in your property or in a mall, over the years the value is dropping.
Right.
True.
I told them that this doesn't drop.
And it makes you younger, look better,
Yeah.
feel better.
Yes.
And eat whatever
Eat
you
whatever
want.
you
right?
want.
Because you're a chef. You told you love
No,
cooking.
passion.
Oh, passion, of
Yeah,
course.
I
I
love
mean,
cooking.
yeah, you love cooking as a passion. So, somebody who loves cooking also, want to enjoy eating as
Enjoy
well,
eating as well.
right? So,
That's it. So I would suggest that if you are willing to, don't have any fear, you can afford to, you'd rather come and get it done, the implant. Instead of using false teeth, I had the dentists that my family and friends, I remember my mom as well. My mom passed away when she was 97. And the dentist was a major problem. And they used to get really irritated and annoyed when the food used to be sitting underneath that.
mhm.
And they used to, looking at that over the years, and I made up my mind, the implant is the way to go.
Absolutely. This is such a big message to everyone
Yes.
listening, I'm
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Amang, do you have to say anything about your treatment here? What do you feel about?
Okay, I saw what he had done, so I was right there. And then when we came back to put his crowns, and then he told me at home, why don't you do? Because I had a few of my teeth removed.
Right.
And then I said, yeah, okay. And that's when Dr. Girish did it for me. And then it was absolutely painless. And I didn't feel anything. He put on the screws, I went back home. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't come back in 6 months.
Yeah.
I had to wait for 2 years. So, and I came now and I did it on the 6th. Nothing, no pain. I went back to the hotel and I just did whatever the doctor had told me to,
Mhm.
the gargle and the ointment that I had to put.
Yeah.
And it was fine, settled well. The next day I was able to eat. Yes.
Mhm.
And aftercare at this center here, medical center, is 200%. And everybody is so, all of them are so friendly and so caring. And you always look after your patients. And we love to come. And even if we don't have anything, we definitely just check.
Oh, absolutely.
You are a part of the Mukha family, and we are elated that we have people like Mr. Umesh and Mrs. Shalini who come from a far off place to see us in hope of a better smile, better quality of life, and we are glad we could help them out. And we also hope that stories like this help people who are in a certain doubt, who are in certain discomfort, have not able to have their food properly, because they say good food is good thoughts. You need good thoughts, you need good food. So we are glad that people like them can inspire so many more, and we are elated to be in your presence.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having this conversation with us. We would like to have you back in Bangalore every time you visit India, and so great to have you. Thank you so much for doing
Thank you.
this with
Thank
us.
you.
It's
It's lovely having you.
You love Mukha and more especially Babu.
We will let him know about this. Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Presenting Vidhi, Footprints on the Sands of Time. Thank you all.
Vidhi, the podcast is dedicated to tales of healing and facilitators of health and well-being. This is a Mukha facial surgery initiative Produced and brought to you by Dr. Girish Rao and Mrs. Sujatha Girish. Podcast is hosted by Dr. Sri Gauri and Dr. Sai Swaroop. Thank you for listening.